We're recording
Okay.
oboes.
Yeah, right? He's going to get a nice little treat. Okay, so we're going to start off with chorale number 2. Do you all have your chorale books?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Oh, no, that's totally fine. Get your instrument together and everything first. And I have little handouts. I put 4 on the stand, so just make sure everybody gets one. And when you get to that warm-up. And you guys can play a few notes if you're already set up, like get them. Make sure you're working on everything.
Oh, that's attractive.
Oboe's such a fun instrument. I love it. No, don't. That's totally fine. If you unplug up all the keys and then blow some air through it, that should help warm it up too. There we go. And we're good. All right, so we're starting with chorale number 2. I'm gonna hold a few of the notes out and stuff a little bit longer, so just make sure you're watching. Okay, so it's gonna be nice and slow. 1, 2, 3. Very, very nice. We're going to do the second half again one more time. Does anybody know why? What happened on that 5th measure?
We held the D too long and then rushed the other D.
Yeah, there we go. Exactly. So it wasn't exactly even. So just making sure that syncopated rhythm is da, da, da. All right. Let's start right there on that 5th measure all the way to the end. Make sure you're watching for that retard too. Was a lot better. That rhythm was way, way better there. Good job. We're gonna start by tuning. Does anybody have a tuner? Or do you need one?
There's one on the desk.
One on the desk. Perfect.
Maybe.
Yes. Okay. Who's the section leader? Anastasia. Okay, cool. Can you go ahead and play your concert F? Oh, and anytime you need to take a breath, just take a breath.
I always forget to breathe.
Yeah,
whenever I play instruments.
It's fine. It happens to everyone. When you're listening, when you're tuning, you want to make sure that you're listening for beats, or if it's beatless. Do you guys know what I mean by that? You guys talked about the beats. Okay, can somebody explain that to me? For me.
Pitch.
Exactly. So the waves in the sound. So I heard really, really tiny beats when you were playing, which means you're either really sharp or really flat. So when you're playing oboe, what do you do to make it flatter?
You I don't know how to explain it, but you roll in more.
You roll in more, exactly. And then when it's sharp, you roll out more, right? Okay, very good. So experiment with that next time when you're playing. When you can hear the beats, just try rolling in, and then if that makes it way worse or the beats get a lot faster, roll out. Okay, so let's try that one more time, starting with Anastasia. To come in together, memorize where your lips just were when it was really in tune, and then I want you to try to go directly on that all together, okay? 1, 2, 3, seconds to settle in. So we're gonna try to make it just one here. But that was really, really nice. I liked your adjustments. 1, 2, 3. There we go. It's getting faster and faster every time. That's awesome. Let's go to, do you guys know what the Remington pattern is? Yeah, okay. So we're gonna, oh, thank you. We're gonna start with that. And anytime it's out of tune, I might go like this, which means try to bend the pitch lower and then bring it back up to get it into tune. Okay, so that's what I mean. I'm not like booing you guys.
Wait, what is that? Is that?
The Remington, that's the where you start on F and then you go down to a E and then back to
Okay,
F.
Okay,
and-
what's low B flat again? My
This
logo
is
didn't have that.
1, 2,
1, 2, 3.
C key and then this far one.
This.
Far
Yes.
Okay, there we go.
Who's in one?
All right, so starting on F, I'm gonna take it nice and slow. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Okay, we're
My
gonna stop
bad.
right there. What I'm noticing is that you guys can hear the beats really, really well. So every time you hear it, you're really, really great at adjusting. Something that you guys can work on though is knowing your tendencies a little bit more. So knowing which notes are going to be really, really sharp, which notes are going to be really flat, and everything like that. So you don't have to make those adjustments. You just know what to do right away. So is oboe kind of new for you? Are you usually on flute,
Oh, no.
or you got a new oboe?
Oh, yeah, but like no, just for that one, my old oboe didn't have an
Okay,
OB
okay,
flat, and
gotcha.
I like am just going like up. Well, this is her oboe right now, but
Okay.
mine's in the
In the
short,
shop.
but
Okay,
mine didn't
gotcha.
have the B flat, so I did.
Okay, okay. I just didn't know if it was that note or if it was
Oh no.
a flute oboe thing. Okay, can everybody refer to their handouts? Okay, so you're all really, really great at hearing unison intonation, and now we're going to work on harmonic intonation. So at the very top there, you can see the B flat scales written out, and then we have the 1, 3, and 5 of the scale boxed there. So that's called a major triad. And on the second down where it says balance there, do is always going to be the loudest. The sol, I know it's kind of hard to read, it's in yellow. I like primary colors. Sol is going to be almost as loud as do, just a tiny bit under there, and then mi is going to be the softest. So anytime you're playing a major triad, which is like basically the end of any phrase in music, it's going to be that kind of balance. So what we're going to do is we're going to start with everybody playing on do, and then I'm going to have Anastasia move up to sol, and then I'm going to have Allie.
Yeah.
There's so many A
It's
names.
okay.
Allie move up to me after that, and we're gonna kind of play with that balance to see where we have to be. So let's start on do, which is gonna be B flat for this exercise.
Middle B flat.
Oh, let's do middle. All right, so 1, 2, 3. Up to sol. Okay, perfect. That was the exact balance we need. So Allie was a little bit strong on the mi right away, but just a tiny bit back in between where you ended and where you started would be a perfect balance there. So that's kind of the sound that we want. Now let's work on getting that a little bit more in tune. So everybody's going to start on do again, and we're going to do this bottom exercise right here. So you two are going to be group 1, you're going to be group 2, and you're going to be group 3. And so group 1 is just going to be holding do the entire time. And then group 2 is going to come in, and you're going to repeat the do, and then go do, re, mi, fa, and we're going to hold fa a little bit, and then settle back in on so.
Wait,
So
so
we're
I go
going to be
B
B
flat,
flat.
C, D, E flat F.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And we're gonna hold fa out a little bit more and then settle in on so. So then we're gonna work on that balance between you two. So you two are gonna be holding that do for a long time. So breathe. And then me, you're gonna come in after we get that balance and that in tune, and you're gonna repeat do, settle or hold re for a little bit, and then settle in on me, and then we'll work with that balance and intonation. Does that make sense? Okay, cool. So let's start with everybody on do. 1, 2, 3. There we go. Very, very nice. So when it locked in there, you didn't hear any beats, right? Because this is all part of like a harmonic series, so there shouldn't be any beats between these 3 notes. So that was really awesome. Let's try it just landing right on that chord. Okay, so you two are going to be do again, so, and then me. 1, 2, 3. The balance was really, really great on that. The intonation was a tiny bit off. So we're going to go into it again just right away, and then I'm going to do the thumb thing, okay? 1, 2, 3. That was exactly it. Very nice. One last time landing on it. 1, 2, 3. Sounds so much better. Good job. I like your sounds too. Everybody has a really nice full sound. It's really easy to sound pinchy on oboes and you guys don't. So good job on that. Do you want to do chorale shaker dance first, or do you want to do festival fanfare?
I think we're gonna work on
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, both as long as we get both.
Yeah, as long as we get both.
Okay. On festival, we're probably gonna work on stuff that you guys don't need the most work on, which is unfortunate, but that was the excerpts that we were given for today. So we're gonna work on 17 or 16 that run into 17, and then also on 22. Are those like pretty big problem spots there?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
The first one is fine.
The first
for me.
one, all you gotta
was
think
just
of is the
the
E
flat
flat.
sound.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like a little focus.
It's just like super fast.
Yeah. That's why we're gonna slow it down a lot today. Just to kind of see where you guys are at, though, we're gonna play it from 16 to 23 first, though, just to see how that sounds. We're gonna not do it as fast. Is this a fair tempo? I'll give you 1, 2, 3, 1, and you guys are in the end too. 1, 2, 3, 1. Rest, 2,
Oh,
3,
my bad.
rest. Okay, there we go. You guys actually sounded pretty good on those runs, but let's slow it down just to make sure that all the notes are right. I want you all to play them like they're 16th notes right now. So it's going to be super slow. It's going to be da 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 da. Let's do the one on 16. 1 E and a 2 E and a ready, go. Or even slower. 1 and 2 and ready, go. All right, let's just take those first 3 notes. I want to hear da da dun. Ready, go. Now we're gonna do the the last note that we landed on, and then the 2 notes after that. So da da dun. 1, 2, ready, go. Oh, we're doing the F, G, and then A flat. No, you're totally fine. 2, ready, go. One more time, ready, go. There we go. Make sure you're hitting that in G every time. I got a little lost the first time. Do those first 5 notes, starting on the D, ending on the A flat. Ready, go. One more time. Speeding it up a little bit. Ready, go. I'm losing the E on there. So going from that D to the E, make sure that you're making that move. 1, 2, ready, go. Very nice. Let's go from the A flat to the C. 1, 2, ready, go. 1, 2, one more time. There we go, a little bit faster. Da da da. Ready, go. There we go, one more time. Ready, go. Here we go, starting on the D, ending on that C. Da 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 da. 2, ready, go. There we go, let's get a better start on that D. 1, 2, ready, go. There we go, very nice. We're gonna go from that C to the E.
Just a reminder, ladies, about the pep assembly. If you have your marching instrument here, if you don't, it's whatever. But lower right-hand corner of the house, like down in the seats, we'll just kind of meet there and do our school spirit thing and get you on your way. Yes,
Can I bring a music stand and a band finder and stuff?
that's fine.
I can't go because I have to.
It's all good. And oh, that's all for you. Never mind. You're good.
Cool. Okay, we're gonna go from that C to the E. That is ready, go. One more time, ready, go. There you go, from the D to that E. 1, 2, ready, go. So remember, these are 16th notes, so divide those in your head. Ready, go. There we go. Last one, we're gonna go from that E all the way to the B. So this is gonna be a longer one. So da 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 da. Ready, go. One more time. There we go. Very nice. Starting on that low D all the way up to the B flat. 1 E and a 2 E and a ready, go. A little bit slower. 2.
Anna, can you grab those scores that are right there?
Let's just do it.
Thank you.
1 E and a 2 E and a ready, go. There you go. So the problem spot, it seems to be from the A flat to the E flat up there. So where's the hardest fingering spot between those notes? There's not really one? Okay. Just make sure that you keep on subdividing then. Let's start at that D again. 1 E and a 2 E and a ready, go. There we go, that's a lot better. Speeding it up. 1 E and a 2 E and a ready, go. 1 E and a 2 E and a ready, go. 1 E and a 2 E and a ready, go. There we go. Let's listen to Anastasia play it one time here. 1 E and a 2 E and a ready, go. Very nice. All 4 of you. 1, 2, ready, go. There we go. I think what's happening is the G is getting held out a little bit too long from the G to the A flat, and then everything else is like really rushed after that. So just making sure that's consistent. We're gonna go back to them being 30-second notes. So I'm gonna do 1, 2. I can't sing that fast, but you know what I'm talking about. So I'll give you 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and you're in on the end of 2. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. There you go. I'm just doing 1, 2 this time. Ready. 1, 2. Make sure you're starting right on the and of 2. So not only do you have to subdivide 30-second notes, but also 8th notes here. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. No, I'm giving you 1 and 2, and then you come in on the and of 2. Yeah, sorry about that. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. This time I'm going to count while you guys are playing. So 1 and 2 and 3. And so I'm coming in on the end of 2 still, and I'm going to keep counting for you. 1 and 2 and 3 and yeah. So actually, you guys are going way too fast there. Yeah. So it's 1 and 2. Da 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 da. 1 and 2. There you go. 1 and 2. There you go. If you keep thinking about them as 16th notes, it makes it seem a little bit more manageable, and it gives you landing spots. So you start on that D, your next landing spot is the A flat, and then the next one is the E flat there. So giving yourself little checkpoints to think about during this was going to make it a lot easier. Let's speed it up just a tiny bit. 1 and 2. Not everybody's ready. That's my fault. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. Can I hear just you two play it? 1 and 2. No, you're fine. In on the and of 2. 1 and 2. There we go. So is it just the speed of it and changing fingers for the speed? Okay, no, that's totally fine. It's really, really hard. If you, some way to like fake it until you get in the practice room and really hash it out here is to just do every other note. Yeah.
Or do you like the down?
Yeah, exactly. You can do just the ands. You can do the D, A flat, E flat, and B flat, or you can go a step up from that and do the D, F, A flat, C, E flat. Do every other note there. So that one would be 1 and 2. Da 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 da. So just what's most manageable for you at each point, but make sure that you guys are working on those fingering issues. Let's move on to the one at 22 here. So this one's a little bit trickier because it's got way more flats, which is always fun. So let's slow that one down a lot. We're going to do it in 16th notes again. It's going to be 1 E and a 2 E and a 1. So I'll give you 1, 2, and then you're in on 3. 1, 2. There you go. First off, let's make sure we know what C flat is. B natural. There we go. So it's going to be A flat, B flat, B natural, D flat, E flat, F, G flat, A flat, B flat. So basically everything is flat except that F. Alright, I like all the pencils I'm seeing. Good job.
B is flute C.
Okay. 1, 2. Yep, and on 3. Ready. 1, 2. There we go. Let's just do eighth notes here. So it's me. Dun, 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 dun. Just to get all the notes. 1 and 2 and ready, go. There we go. Can I hear just that D flat all at once? Try playing it with Rachel. There you go, that sounds better. Was the key sticking? No. Okay. It sounded really off with the group, but that sounded fine together. Let's try it a little bit faster. We're going to do 16th notes again. Now that you have the notes on your fingers. Da, 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 da. Ready, go. Here we go, one more time. Make sure you're slurring them too. 1 E and a 2 E and a ready, go. One more time. 1 E and a 2 E and a ready, go. There we go. Very good job there. Speeding it up just a tiny bit. 1 E and a 2 E and a ready, go. 1 E and a 2 E and a ready, go. 2E, and ready, go. There we go. We're losing a couple people here with fingering wise. Again, just practice room stuff,
It's
making
the
sure.
F sharp. I'm putting down the flute finger.
Oh, the
And I keep putting
That's the hardest
my
one,
ring
coming
finger
back to
down
oboe, is the
instead of
sharp
my
on
first
my
finger.
finger.
Yeah, because
So
you
then
guys
it's all
just spent
screwed
like
up.
the first half of the semester playing flute. Okay.
Oh, I spent like 2
That's-
hours every day playing flute. I haven't played the oboe since May.
Oh
It's like
gosh,
a
that's awful.
disaster.
I'm so sorry.
It's a disaster.
Well, welcome back to oboe. We're gonna transfer it back to 30-second notes here. So I'll give you 1, 2, da 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 da. 1 and 2 and. There we go. Very nice. 1 and 2 and. Here we go. You guys are speeding it up a little bit actually, so less frantic. Da 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 da. 1 and 2 and. 1 and 2 and. Da 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 da. There we go. 1 and 2 and. A little bit fast. 1 and 2 and. 1 and 2 and. There we go. Very nice. That one came along a lot better. I think because there were less notes there. What's probably tripping you guys up on the 16 one is that it comes in on the and then there's a lot of notes after that. But just remember, it's just that scale. So let's start back at 16 and then go all the way through to 23 again. And we'll see where we go from there. It's going to be really under tempo here, so it's going to be 1 and 2. Da, 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 da. I'll give you 1 and 2, and then you come in on the and 2. 1 and 2. Let's start that over again. One more time. 1 and 2. Breathe wherever you need to. And off. 2, 3, 1 and 2. And that one comes in right on 3. So it would be 1 and 2 and da 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 da. Okay, let's do that one more time. Now that you kind of have the timings and stuff under your fingers, and we're gonna speed it up a little bit there because I know that was probably hard to hold that B flat that long. Okay, so think about it in your head how this first measure is gonna go. 1 and 2. Da, 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 da. I'll give you 1 and 2, and you come in on the and a 2. 1 and 2. We're gonna start that over one more time. 1 and 2. And off. 2, 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and da, 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 da. There we go. So make sure you're coming in on 3. Let's just do those. The last measure of holding your B flat, the measure of rest, the 2 beats, and then you're coming in on 3. Okay, so the B flat, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and off. 2, 3, rest, rest. There we go. It still started a tiny bit early, but just make sure you're waiting to go right on 3. That sounds a lot better though. A lot cleaner on the notes there. Is there any other spot you wanted to hit? Do you want to do one of those again? Good.
It's gonna take time.
Yeah, it's just gonna take time and coming back from being on fleek for so long. All right, let's go to chorale and shaker dance. We're gonna start at E and play through H. And we'll skip all the rests in between there. I don't have to count those today. What time does this class get out?
155.
1:55? Okay. 150? Okay, cool. Plenty of time. Alright, everybody have chorale and shaker out. Okay, starting on E, I'll give you 1, 2, 3, and you come in on the and of 3. 1, 2, 3. skip over to G. Give you 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, and you're on the and. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. 2, 3. There we go. Very nice. Let's go back to E for a second here.
And C sharp is a D flat. Yeah, so that looked like B.
Oh yeah. Keys are
CD paper is a lifesaver. I love it. Okay, back at E. It's the first measure of E, and then the third and fourth that were kind of a little tricky there, and it's just getting off those holds and then coming in on the and. So what I want you all to do with your pencils is cross off that last eighth note in the hold of the whole note there. That's what I'm talking about. It's the third measure of E
Right there.
right there. So you're gonna cross off that eighth note and do the same thing in the eighth note in the next measure. So third measure of E. Because what I want you guys to do is let go of the note there so that you have enough time to come in on the and there. Because what's happening is you're holding it over a little bit longer, so it's da, 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 and you're kind of rushing it, and then it's crunching the rhythm a little bit. So what I want it to sound like is da, 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 da. Does that make sense? Okay, so let's start right at E. Because coming into on the and there, that was totally fine. It's just when you're coming off of notes. So starting right on E. 1, 2, 3. One more time. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, off. Off. There we go. That sounded a lot better. That was really on. Let's do it one more time without me screaming at you while you're playing. 1, 2, 3. There we go. That sounded a lot better. That fixed the problem right away. Woo! High fives all around. All right, let's go to G now. It's the fourth measure of G, where things got a little funky there. Let's just play that a little bit slower. And what I want you guys to do is kind of propel yourself towards the accent. So it's gonna be da 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 da. Fourth measure of G, yeah. And remember, it's fortissimo. Show 'em what you got. Okay, 1 and 2 and ready, go. There we go. So no, that's totally fine. You only have one beat of rest there, or 1.5 beats of rest, and then you come in on the 1 in the next measure. There we go. So make sure you're just counting that. Can we count and clap it together one time? And make sure on that fifth measure of G, when you're coming back in on the E's, that you're coming in right on the and there. It's on the and of 3. Okay, so counting and clapping. 1 and 2 and ready, go. 1 and 2, 3, 4 and 1. There you go. Let's do that one more time.
Like 2 notes right there.
Right, yeah, no, there was a couple notes in there where it just looks funky.
Put like an arrow or something.
Would it help if you guys wrote the counting in underneath too?
Written.
It's written? Okay, that's fine. You're good. Okay, this time I'm just gonna clap a steady beat with you while you're clapping the rhythm. Okay. 1 and 2 and ready, go. There we go. So you're holding that, or you're resting for 1 beat longer in that last measure. So what is it? G, 4 after G, E, G. Yeah, so right there, it's just 1 beat. So here you have da 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 da. Okay, one more time, the whole thing there. 4 after G, 1 and 2 and ready, go. 3. Rest. There we go. Very nice. And there's a hold there, so it's just gonna be 1, 2, and. Okay, one last time clapping, and then we're gonna take it back to the instruments. I'm gonna speed it up a little bit. 1 and 2 and ready, go. There we go. Very, very good job. The only thing during that time was that you guys rushed a tiny bit when you had the and 4 and 1 and 3. So just make sure you're staying right in the pocket there. Take it back to your instruments and aim for the accents. 1 and 2 and ready, go. Rest. Very nice. You're just a tiny bit hesitant coming in on that last measure. Let's do it one more time. 1 and 2 and ready, go. There we go. So you held it just, or you rested a tiny bit longer there. One last time here, I want to hear fortissimo, those 2 staccato notes in that second measure that we're playing. I want to hear them nice and separated there, and then not resting too long on that third measure. Okay, 1 and 2 and ready, go. Rest. Very nice. That was so much better. Let's take it from the beginning of G and to where we just ended this time. And look at that time signature change so you know how long to hold. 1 and 2 and ready, go. Very, very nice. That sounds so much better. And I like the confident fortes you guys are playing. Let's start all the way back at E again. And we're going to stop for the rest and then jump over to G. Okay, starting at E, I'll give you 1, 2, 3, and you're in. 1, 2, 3. Jumping over to G. 1, 2, 3, 4. Very, very good job. Okay, that sounds a lot cleaner. Note-wise, just double check that 8th note run going into the long notes after E. Do you know what I'm talking about? Where it says loco. Okay, cool. Let's just spot check that really quick. Just go note by note. First note, so that's going to be your E. Fingerings. Let's go through that one more time and we're going to work on tuning for that. So the E. I'm sorry, you guys are probably winded from
That's
that.
okay.
That's really all I have for you today, but we still have like 5 more minutes before you gotta pack up. Is there any spot off of the list that I was given that you guys want to hit in either piece? There's no super tricky spot in festival or corral. Alright, well, in your corral books, do you guys just have just the oval part? Do you have other part? Or it's just the oval part?
Oh, alright.
Okay. Well, let's go back to corral for a second here. And I want you all to play the spot after where we stopped. So we stopped at 23, right?
Oh,
No, wait. Festival. I'm so sorry.
Oh.
Yeah, no, my bad. Yeah, festival. We stopped at 23. And I want to start at 25. Okay, so when you're playing staccatos on oboe, what do you have to do differently with your tongue? Yes, you have to keep it very, very light. So normally when you tongue, it's a 2, 2, 2. I want you guys to think tap, tap, tap. So, okay. We're gonna slow it down a little bit here. 1 and 2 and 25. Alright, we're gonna do that one more time, really, really slowly. So, tap, 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 tap. And think about tuning within each other as well. 1 and 2 and ready, go. Very nice. Okay, there are some points where that that note changes. That dun 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 dun. That note changes at some points. Am I right? Yeah. So make sure that you're catching all those changes there. Let's do it one more time, and we're gonna speed it up a little bit. 1 and 2 and ready, go. Here we go. So that run, where is that?
Very, yeah, it's right here.
Right there.
It's very.
Wait,
How do you play
and
that
what-
top note?
what's
yet?
high D?
High D is 1, 2, 3, and then to go to E,
Yeah, so that flip is very, very annoying. Also here, it's going to be a lot slower than you think though. That's kind of like what we just worked on. It's going to be da 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 da. So just think about 1 and 2 and 1 and da 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 da. So let's do that really slowly. Just that measure, so starting on that G. 1, 2, ready, go. So Anastasia started on the right time. You guys are making it into a run there, or like a grace note into it. And just kind of going. Blah. If you started early enough, it's going to be a lot easier to do. So you're just saying 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Coming right on the and 4. 1 and 2 and ready, go. There we go. One more time. 1 and 2 and ready, go. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. There we go. There we go. Everybody started on the right spot that time. The fingering is just really, really cruddy there. Yeah, it's pretty awful. Okay.
Cause see, like I've never like I don't think I've ever played like a high D or E on oboe. Cause like